Senamdi Kaka na enquire Eddie Abba na enquire say or say grassroots concern not new. Everyone will get fair share. Grassroots concern not new. Mama morning. Boko dear.
Boko na so.
Nyame adom. Ye de hu ye wa ha kwama pa.
Me se on kana ache.
Me wa ha. Wa.
Ya ko pega wo ko dum pempen so awedi no. O le si wechi.
Oh, sentina de bia me frɛ wo no. Sentina.
Faskaka.
Me faskaka ho. Mo moton oye kra na musun. Na ya namfo. But mama, an enquiry the story be aba. I say you are on record to have say the agitation of the grassroots on different issues are ACC women, especially on a Juma or Mu penny at the adeno. Say it is an old story and not a new story. It's nothing new, right?
Okay, mami, enchi na minchi with you for no phone. Let me place on record that this has nothing to do with Tema Oil Refinery, even though I speak with them. I'm also a government spokesperson.
Yes.
So issues related to buying the NDC, sometimes I commenting on it briefly. A part of the government communication, and I had to make that comment. True. From the recent agitations from young grassroots regarding security recruitment and a lot of supposed disappointment, and the fact that again to say almost fair appointees are almost almost anyone messages are almost a reply. On that basis, and I'm making that comment, and this is my point. Obibia with the politics for a very long time in Ghana. No? These agitations and maybe Albuna grassroots agitators, say one free appointees, one far, yes, it is not new. And the late Rollins, it happened. And former President Kufuor AC, and Atamels, late Atamels AC, and Akufo-Addo AC, even to the extent says Amubakaya, and on the Omo appointed Ashanti Regional Security Coordinator, some invisible force and Delta Force had to go and drag the appointee from his office in Kumasi. Nina, a part of Enyamana Medium community, and quite recently, the new government and also the grassroots and so they make the same agitations. However, my point is saying, and you be beer or your appointee, and you better say, oh, friend, on fire. These things, it has to do with character. Obia ni misu and any buying. Because Obi wa friend, I am pa on fire, but Obi su wa friend. Obefa. Into me use me as an example. For me, unless my message call, but maybe I will call you back. Aside that, WhatsApp may reply. Even chatting me crowd or Facebook Messenger crowd, I will reply you. Into no stress, and you'll be biana putting up that subino. And I may friend and grass who say, Mamma and fa. Nipa baako mienu bi subia omo da ne dia isusu se enye no enfan fole aban ni nyina se saa na obi bia because you will be wa ofre onga obefa ya nhwe yi a ye de nipa baako mienu su ene omo ban bi ada fole aban ni nyina na akwansa dia aban mu mpanyifo nyina ofre onga wonfa ya nhwe yi a Yanga subaya yeda ni dino ebenam so ma yebeko opposition said former President Kufuor kan no it is better to be a slave in power than to even be a national chairman in opposition. and then Yankedia, Air Koso, Untumi Sensem, a Shafia under the MPP. Now, so now by was Untino. Why not say you want to me? I could not say you didn't ask him. Who dare you say doing to me beko under MPP? In Sunday, even as Ashanti Regional Chairman of the MPP, Ashanti Region, the stronghold of MPP, regional chairman, and then in opposition, who will send a year chino, Srene Abasa. And until you are near me, my arguing course say, and I'm on a woo to me. The Buama party no Eguswatana Bemwa. Why not? You too. And so Namonga Mwa na ever consider disaffection. Na ever ma ebe lusu popularity. Na yanjei ever ma lusu abatwa. Se ube tu sa Namona. Now I am very careful. Secondly, also on ongoing security recruitment. The point is that rather unfortunate, but the issue is so we have labor audit. Now, ascertaining number of vacancies are in security services more. And you obvious say, nipa dodo anase mebunu a omugu abonten a omupe in security services mu akọ. They are far more than the slot available. Aside that, this year, you compare graduate students, KNUC graduate students, all traditional universities, student graduate fee, technical universities, student graduate fee, nursing training, teacher training, and specialized institution. Aside SHS, Afribiano, you're graduating Kolafi SHS. So we keep adding the numbers. Yes, slot a war isa. And until say, Abayam Poka say, or for nipa even 100,000 in poor. Yeah, aware say, Interior Minister Mayati says, nipa 500,000, and I apply Anabua. This Abayam Poka so for nipa 100,000. I dear Chen say, nipa bears 400,000 and a car, or mu enya, akunya mo munko. Policy near soldier.
But so
at every point in time,
yes.
Ebi benya, ebi enya. And now, Mister wants to say, Abrabona a woman. Ebi the ever ban of pa. Ebi the ever area. Ebi the ever ba and embrace. Menoka say, Honorable Baba Sadek, former parliamentary candidate. Yetu Abari ya Wendy. Expect to say as one of the appointees, either deputy minister and as a CEO and a deputy CEO. Almost 1 year, Baba Sadiq was there without an appointment, and I'm a Boamini Abema. You imagine, Sanka, when your appointment or Shas, yes, or Kasakasa, or go about any thing, or go party in Hufia, and can now queen your better honor. And could be important, I recommend now. And how did this and Kabay the best in himself or man ambassador to Nigeria? If it's our mini Abema.
Turn there and a buying a bed decided.
But sir, who do you mean good the same a buying and some bam the cafe? Yama Koja ever buying him na save your buying. That is why it is always careful, sir. You two and a mombia, you two and a more. In Suno and the in Bonnie. So now so evidence so be cafe. Nipa semo si we wa bre yamana kwenya we obi ataka so oh we die okosua bo party ni ani aban no ehu de ru papa because when you say ya wo de egufu ne ebe say dia nyankopon ahihya ma wo etna another former finance minister Anta the whole 8 years of MPP he was not an appointee anamebwa you can imagine, say, with all the knowledge and technical know-how, and Uncle Sharp says to go about new thing or Kasakasa or yet disappointing statements and other things. And I couldn't have done so, Sanka. Young folk being finance minister, Mra Yi, Ken Ufuriata. And how did this and can go for recommend it? Say, young farmer Aminanta. No, nobody would have recommended
Okay. Okay, in the Mama. Mama. So when you make the statement, say it is nothing new, you are not trying to tell them say they should keep quiet because the problem is already known.
They should do what? Please come again.
Me say Uka say it is nothing newer. By your explanation, you are not trying to say they should keep quiet because you already know the problems already.
Oh no. It is not to say omo enkomano entum. As for kasa de yesi wan kasa utinwa ye bone. So obviously obia ntimi enka omo kasa bo enhye omo yem. But the other person me kire ni say enye adefofo no se udi hu nkomo a na we hu nkomodi a ubedi mema enkoye nkomo a udi begu wa ban hu fi na at the end we see them defend the same aban.
But insure so tap on cheni a woje wo se bi yetete abete na ne cha no ntie bi ya cha eko wo hunu se wonu kura no bibia kura nye de obi wo ho a wo se na me branch women organizer no ni buy per police akọ your call no ya disqualify no but the MPP ni oni ni tifie no ono ni mamie no akọ ama ya fa omo a you don't think this person will complain?
So
and their complaints are legit.
You see, a man I war opposition, no, I agree. So we are with the grievance and depending on the Bia Ujinano, and said they will be doing common affair. But as I say in I say, a man war opposition for 8 years. All security experts, including the NDC. Adie baako ye kasa ti aye pa ye unprofessionalism in our security services. So be kaya. Ema ye bo aban a wetwem so bo se. Koye o mo fa so e di recruit emebunu e di koye security services no. Ama enimonyam ankakane e ka ye security service ni na ye aba fem. Ema ye hye Ghana fo bo se. So mo to abama ye na ye ba. That way of recruitment, NDC, we won't follow it again. And I say, Ghana for be egusu MPP ni NDC, they the same. But we must understand, say a sabo opposition, na ye bad power, na ye ndi boss no swa. Ye Ghana for Kenya, Emma a confirm say NDC ni MPP. We are the same. Because yenti mean shebo Ghana for nyina so nto aba yen say ye ba. That family and friends, that nhwehwenim ye e fa nkrofo de call police ni anaso jemu no kasa ti yen so be the same thing. We promise to do better. We promise to reset every facet of our economy. Nti say ya ba na mampeni egusu reset, which include the security services. No, see, obibia merit, you will get it by merit. Na say, Sebi, and I'm so now uba enya, and no interest obi bo uba buga. And until the interior minister Ankasa say, wow, susu se unim obi. Onya security services, and yes, or qualify, or yare, ne people sin nanso ya fa no anaso onim so obi atue ska ansa na ya fa no why ready say ye be all the needed investigation tweben no na fa sa details no e ma no you see ye say there enye ni na eye no kware akoye say Antonio Martins minority leader accusing interior minister on this same issue say recruitment meddled with corruption and corruption-related activities. When Pool came to shove, what happened? Honorable Sanko Parliament, Kopa, said, "Miana meka yemeboa, mini na subia corruption dia for the recruitment." A minority leader. So that should tell you, say, "Nyen bia tete ena ye no kre because unim say ye no kre a. Minister ne say fa adansi die bra ye be investigate You who say nipa no qualified. You be nipa no team. Not why and nam so I the fan no so whoever is responsible no, will be used as deterrent. So that going forward, nobody would tamper with the system. But until then, no, again, any man say, Bosch and I share say, the MPP for yeah, nay, young Asra for any Munyam Nina to Femino. Yes, you have say a bar. We will make sure that they will pass through the due process to be recruited. If you remember, you can't wait in opposition. Now you have power and there and otherwise. And yes, gradually, New Year confirming say politicians are not truthful. Politicians will say this in opposition and come and do otherwise. And the last point also is that we are confirming say NDC in the NPP is the same, but they are not the same.
Mama, now I say none of it.
Mama,
and that is Godwin Mahama, NDC ni Ozazo Kasa Edema, Toy Jumaye Kuru na Otise Yeneno Education. A private legal practitioner is Raymond Bedema Yenene Kochuchin Komo, really on issues by the Leonard Council Apia Kubi. Council, if you can hear me, good morning and thanks for joining me on U88.3 FM.
Good morning, Dajini. How are you?
I'm doing great. Yourself?
I'm blessed. Dajini, how long have you taken to learn how to pronounce my surname?
In fact, I have not taken so long, but I don't know if I am right.
You are very right. I think you are one of the few people who mentioned the name correctly.
Thanks so very much. Council, let me get this from you. Yesterday was the day the High Court ruled on this Wontumi Samra Boy case.
Okay.
And asking Wontumi to open defense to the various allegations so leveled by the Attorney General. But it is instructive to know that the lawyer for Wontumi, makes certain assertions. In this case, he doesn't see the reason why a prosecution witness who say, I have committed a crime, but I will go under what we call non-prosecution agreement to become how's it called? A prosecution witness for the prosecutor. Is it right that somebody who instigated a crime would be charged and the one who committed the crime himself will be let to go free?
Okay, let me just take the opportunity to say a very good morning to your cherished listeners. It is always a privilege to be on their show to also contribute to my quota. Dacheni, it is instructive to note that the power to prosecute is given by the Constitution, and there is only one person in whose hands that powers have been entrusted, and that is the Attorney General, a Minister of Justice. So it is at the discretion, or it is, yes, the Attorney General who will determine what crime to prosecute and which one not to prosecute. And at any point in time, the law also allows the AG to enter nolle prosequi in order to say that, oh look, I am no longer interested in prosecuting so and so. It is immaterial what the alleged crime is. If the state says that I am no longer interested in prosecuting the matter, so be it. Right?
Yes.
The only thing is that it depends on where the matter has reached before the nolle prosequi might have been entered. This is so because if the prosecution has finished his case before the nolle prosequi has been entered, then it means that the state can no longer prosecute or recall the person for prosecution again. That will amount to double jeopardy. But if the prosecution has not finished his case before the entry of nolle prosequi, because crime has no expiry date, at any point in time, they can still rearrest such an accused person and take him through the prosecution. So, well, he may complain because he might feel that it is against his client, but again, the law allows that. So, once it is one of the numerous things that the state can do at any point in time, so be it.
But would that be fair? Would that be very fair? I.e., when the commissioner of the crime himself is being turned as a prosecution witness, and the one who instigated the crime will now become the how do you call it, the suspect?
But that in this matter, if you say the one who committed the crime himself, who committed the crime according to your session, who do you think is the one who committed the crime?
No, I am by this chance saying that the lawyer for the suspect, i.e. Untumi and Akwantama, he says that the prosecution witness testified in court under cross-examination that yes, he admits doing the mining, right?
But mind you, the prosecution witness is actually an employee of the Akwanta Mining.
Yes, that is right.
So it presupposes that he was doing whatever he did by the instruction of his employer.
Yes.
So you can seek to say that if an agent purports to have done an act, it is incumbent on the principal, is that not it?
Yes.
I don't know what principal agency relationship is.
Yes, but would that not be in a civil sense rather than the criminal sense?
Not at all, because you have been employed and your employer is the one who said, go to that place, I have a license, go to that forest to go and mine. And I go there to mine. I can come and say that, well, I was only asked to go there and ask to whether, and I was shown paper document to the effect that place has been given to you and it is my employer's concession. So I did what my employer asked me to do. So I can come and tell that, well, we went there to do, and when we went there, this is what I was given. So I was doing the bid of my employer. So in that case, the act of the agent is the act of the principal. So we cannot sit somewhere and say that it is the prosecution witness who did the act. It's completely the act. He may be cited or he may be accused of conspiracy or maybe abetment to commit a crime. However, he may not be the crime suspect or the one who has actually committed the crime. It is the company that has committed whichever crime that is alleged, if any at all.
So the argument by the lawyer seeming to say that, look, the prosecution witness should be held responsible for his action and inaction rather than turning him into a prosecution witness. He believed that anybody at all can commit a crime, which is a strict liability, and come back and say, oh, well, prosecution, I want you to help you do your case. And so let me go under the non-prosecution agreement with you and come and testify for you. I'm just looking at, even though it is instructive in law and it is admissible in law, but the fairness of it is what I wanted to look at as to whether it is fair for us to go on that route.
It is the discretion of the state, and at any point in time, the state can use that discretion how they want. Again, it must be noted that when, assuming now it is NDC that is in power, they are refusing to prosecute the person. Tomorrow, if NPP comes and they think that the guy can also be prosecuted, they may call him and they can still prosecute him. So, like I said earlier on, crime has no expiry date.
Even though he has served as a prosecution witness, has signed the agreement of non-prosecution, he can still be prosecuted? Will the agreement with the Attorney General not suffice?
You see, a crime is not like a civil matter where you come and say that you cannot sign an agreement to commit a crime.
Yes.
Correct or not?
That is right.
Yes. You cannot seek to say that I've signed an agreement that when I commit a crime, I should not be taken on. If a crime is always a crime, at another point in time, he may be prosecuted.
Okay, so meaning that you can sign non-prosecution agreement with the AG and still be prosecuted.
I don't know the import of that non-prosecution agreement. That in this matter that I am signing, I may not be called upon to come and answer any question on that matter. Is that it? Because mind you, another thing too is that any witness that appears before court is also immune from certain liabilities.
Yes.
So if it is that immunity that his lawyers may fight for, fine. But if it is alleged that he has actually committed a crime, and so they are using that as basis for which he will not be, let's say, prosecuted, maybe going forward. And so because of that, he will come. What he's saying, whether he says it or not, if a crime is committed, the crime has been committed, right?
Okay. Yes. Yes.
So for that one, there, he may be prosecuted at any point in time.
Just like you say, probably you need to look at the content of the non-prosecution agreement.
Agreement that has been signed.
Yes, but in the process of okay, so he has not gone through any prosecution, so you cannot argue on double jeopardy in this case. But looking at the lawyer also says something that yes, in as much as they disagree with the court, they are waiting for the full ruling of the court, the reasoning behind, asking them to open defense. Then it will afford them the opportunity whether to even appeal against that particular decision. There are people who say in Ghana, some few years ago, there was an act that makes sure that our when it comes to election petition, there's a timeline for which we are supposed to deal with it, and dispense that case. People say when it comes to crime, we should also find a timeline to it. If it is 6 months, if it is 1 year, by the time elapses, we should be able to dispense that case and dispense it appropriately.
Are you talking about the time the case is delayed in court, or you are talking about how long the crime has been committed?
No, I'm talking about the prosecution of the case in court. That some of these cases can even travel as high as 4 years, 5 years. People made the argument that we should give it a timeline. I don't know whether as a practitioner you agree.
I don't agree on that because, the law is that it is better to allow 100 criminals to go scot-free than to incarcerate one innocent person, right? So we cannot seek to rush the prosecution of an accused person to the extent that we may be likely to send some innocent people to what? Prison. Do you understand the point?
Yes.
We may punish some innocent people. That is why the state takes its time in prosecution of what? Criminals or accused persons. So that on all it is not just a balance of probability. You must be able to show that it is actually beyond reasonable doubt. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand. But people will make the argument that presidential election petition, a decision from the court can throw the country into a very big jeopardy. Even with that, there's a timeline.
Listen, that is a civil matter, and civil matter should be distinguished from what? A criminal matter. Do you understand the point?
Yeah, I do.
And I'm explaining to you that it is better to set free even 100 criminals or suspected criminals than to send one innocent party to prison. So the state must take its time in prosecuting accused persons so that you may not likely send innocent people to prison. So on that score, it is important that the state take its time and make sure that they are able to prove the guilt of the accused person beyond reasonable doubt before they can actually pronounce him guilty.
Let me leave you and say a very big thank you for joining us on the show this morning.
Thank you so much also for having me. Do have a very wonderful morning. Bye-bye.
And that is lawyer Raymond Bedema, and I would say Yenino Etritri and Komono, and the issue no watch them say nipa where prosecution witness lawyer Nino for untumi ekase onu na koye ade no na watwa ne hu se onu wo testify against nipa wo fa na adwuma and a lawyer kire mu se sesia no nipa where prosecution witness no nipa one untumi ne fa na adwuma ana wo man no kwan so onkoye asumesi anaso onko hanko ye adwuma enti sa nipa koro no ebetumi aka se obedia menim hwe o fa ma adwuma mu wo fa ma adwuma no se yenko ha ne yenkonko ye adwuma se ye won krata ye di ye adwuma ho anase ye nin kranta ye di ye adwuma no menim me de me danse ma me awo na mba no enti sa asem ko ba nipa wo ka se menko honko ye adwuma no sa nipa koro no ene wo se ye tumi so ne page ensan se meme de na menim wasa kan say non-prosecution agreement and yenim say no sign a chiro say yam prosecute you on the same case or say kopim say ye be hunu the content of the non-prosecution agreement no obi abetumi aba be fasa case na say wo hwe say sa nipa kro na obe testify ya company ni fa na wo ye adwuma no sa nipa kro yi an ye betumi akọ de na akọ gina mranim na fa mra no ani nedi. And to say a non-prosecution agreement na ekoko wo mu say oh we die me baba gina aban di mu testify say be ya mebu aban ma aban atumi aye ni case yi na mebu aban wi aban tumi mfa me nko gina mna bi anim nka say on the same case no I should come and respond there then nipa no wi a enya de a ye betumi akoko gina mna bi anim aka say bia ye kwakọ so ni page ana say ye kwakọ eni bibi Saha ena lawyer echrim ana mkoko bisa ne se enipa ni bi wo ho a case ni betumi travel na court 3 years 4 years 5 years case baako na lawyer 4 year gymnastics they say we are working na ya see ye court of appeal ye kwakọhwe decision ye dia ye see ye OP defense that ruling ni nkwa no me dey court of appeal because many nye ho na court nso akọ transfer be busumi miensa still na case ni ekonkon ho high court ni ye ni wie na bia sa decision no so aba decision no ba o se me ntiase me ko supreme court na supreme court nso busumi 9 busumi num na ekonkon ho sa anti na obehwe na case ba ko ye na travel na ba no ko opposition ni attorney general ba pe o se my enter the friend no prosecutor because nipa e na gina mra nanim no wo ye me party mu nipa ya enter the friend no prosecutor na afi ye genu ono so a obi antumi mi sanre but our partner say ye the timeline be to criminal prosecution ho a ye be rase bia ne yankwanko tie asem ne ye be rase a na afi sa woni no ye di nakwako otum emra no so kire se ye di nipa ba ko a ne ho son ebetum no die anke yenya nipa dudu omodi boni na nkomo 19 free so mpeninse se ubefa nipa baako a onu edibem ede mana ko da fiase de anka nipa hodo a omodi boni anka yenche be jan panka yenya nipa be 1000 ase bi omodi boni no mu 90 free so be kokwa yase akoko kun tromo no be fia be dware sesa duro de kebi anka odi tell mu ase anka ye sana akwakoba no enti eno ne wuntumi case no so sa na akwakoba no ana plan for me shamo ba say na meni mo bedi nkomo bi na mo member of parliament yes Sam Nate George parliament hono assembly na assembly si wo parliament hono Sam George tena wa mi hunu mo MP no pram for mi hunu mo MP no se na bia no osusu se ebia wadum pempenso bi abrabo mu a omo parliament na se bia ene wo ye minister ntie bia obro mo so na what can send me or parliament and I want to believe say honorable Sam George was a video no bi mu a e wo so nya no hu bi no hu se bia de na o ye no wanye ni ye no dia chopa in fact when he was even asked to withdraw krano na was nipa kokoti reshuffle be kan opening reshuffle be kan me na me catch 2 years no in being that office ebeba se opening reshuffle no ebe kan come pania ni say obia wo de o mo ya pa mo nyina mbedi 2 years no now we separate the boys from the men kokoti you know emwa fa wonko ba bia na tie de course wo parliament
Honorable Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Minister of Communication a moment ago made a statement which statement has got into the records of this House. I would want to plead with him to kindly withdraw those statements.
Yes, Minister for Communication.
No, Mr. Speaker, what statement is he referring to? He has to be specific on what statement he's referring to. The leader must be specific. I said a number of things.
Mr. Speaker, the minister must know that we accord him respect because he's our minister. He must accord leadership the same respect. Speaker, government business is called by the leadership of the House. So, Honorable Minister, please, you are a Minister of State. Please, kindly withdraw those statements you made earlier by way of objection to the application made by the majority chief. That is what I'm saying. That you should withdraw those statements because you rose on your feet to oppose the application with the explanation that you've been sitting here for 2.5 hours. So you should withdraw it. You should withdraw it. It is wrong. Hey.
Right, Honorable Speaker, I think that let us be clear. I did not just rise on my own. The Speaker of the House asked a specific question, and Honorable Minority Leader, I'm a member of this House, and I have maximum respect for leadership. So playing to the gallery with some of the comments you made are very unfortunate. But let's be clear, I did not rise to object to government business. The Speaker of the House, and sometimes when you're in the chair, you should pay attention to business in the House. The Speaker in the chair asked the question, anybody with an objection? So I didn't rise on my own. I rose in response to the question the Speaker asked. I caught his eye and he gave me the floor. So I didn't just rise on my own. So it's important that we set the record straight. It's going into the Hansard. There are people you play to the gallery with. We have our banter when we have to. But when it's on the record is the record. And so if you're asking me to withdraw what? Are you asking the Speaker to withdraw his question if there was anybody in opposition? The Speaker asked that question and I rose on it. And let us state for the fact that your people have asked questions. For those of you who have just come to Parliament and haven't paid attention to even the orientation, you make the noise. But you see, no. First timers who didn't pay attention. Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Minister responsible for communication.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
What you have to withdraw is if the questions are not taken, you wouldn't be able to come back and answer them.
Mr. Speaker, the very individuals who asked the questions, I said the questions have been invited to answer, for which I've sat in the chamber for 2.5 hours, are time bound. The individuals who have even filed the question are not in the chamber. And so I'm saying to you that, Mr. Speaker,
all you need to do is to wait when it gets to the time and we call the question. And the individuals are not here to ask the question. Then whoever is presiding at that material moment will give the necessary directions. That is what happened. But I'm not also comfortable of the statement that if the questions are not handled for today, you will not be able to come back and answer the questions. I believe that is what the minority leader is asking you to withdraw. So just do the honorable thing and let's make progress. This is not anything.
Mr. Speaker, I have the greatest respect for you.
Very well.
And the reason why I made that statement is because there are other obligations. And I worked with the table office to schedule today. And that's why I'm drawing the attention of the House. Because, Mr. Speaker, the minority leader will be the same person to stand up and say ministers are avoiding coming to the House. And that's why I'm making this statement, so that it is not said that when you reschedule and based on other prior commitments I'm unable to honor, it will not be said.
Minister for Communication,
so,
just
Mr.
take
Speaker,
a cue.
I take a cue from you and I'm guided. Thank you.
Honorable members, with all due respect, the statement by the Minister for Communication to the effect that if the questions are not answered, he won't come back to the House to answer the questions, are accordingly ordered to be expunged from our record as if it does not exist. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, a moment ago, the Honorable Minister made a statement to the effect that me urging upon him to withdraw a rather unfortunate statement amounted to playing to the gallery. He went on further to use his left hand to point at some colleagues at the back bench, claiming that they have just come and they should go and learn the rules. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Sam George indeed is a colleague member of Parliament. But he knows, and I know, that once you become a Minister of State, you hold an elevated position. And no matter what, all of us must accord that rank the needed respect. I find what he just directed at my backbench unfortunate. With the left hand, Honorable Minister, there is a good reason why you have a front bench. That in all difficulties and dangers, as you see them, you engage so that we all resolve. Even if they were wrong, you are a Minister of State. Even if you saw anything wrong, you don't use your left hand to attack a colleague in the chamber. That's exactly what you did. Mr. Speaker, anyway, that thing that we cherish melts, and it melts with time. I rest my case.
That is what transpired in Parliament. You see, I have my difficulties when it comes to the AC and the other, and how Sam George as a minister of state reacted to the scene. Mo amunya akwan ehwe sa video ni nyina, you would see say the speaker no oti won at the point in time. Uhwe ni facial reaction it say not the Sam George who can no ni nyaji, and indeed or can I say the Sam George can ko onukro oni nyaji no. Ninya say Sam George can say oh onu aba betra for be 2 hours. O man friend am bisa no question am no be ya no a next time won friend no won be ya no. Ish. Reshuffle my reshuffle ema I near 2026 be kon wie uchi mu time 2026 e be kon wie Nyankopon so be ye ya duma ma ye tia asem a reshuffle na ba na honorable Afenyo Markin Zekan Bibi, and it is very instructive. So kaya vetting e bro mu ko vetting no honorable Shaibu ko bisa say oh akwa we kura nkrofo kika kura say yes wo mu ade ni ade a nkrofo kika say yes wo mu ade e na vetting hona o and as Sam George responding or can say, oh, say, oh, pe obia. Wobey character reference. Nipakura also any character reference, no? I honorable Afenyo Markin. 10 years. Was it wobia? Ye kasi 1 year character reference. Wobe to me, aya honorable Afenyo Markin. Now, Afenyo Markin, I can be on the floor. Or say that thing that we cherish most melts, and it melts with time. Oh, your minister, and your kukoti. Papa, your car who say chia, you won't dear tono. Kokoti. Amobia tie nyina yenhwe ne ye enti mu MP no muti say as a racial for akana mane nyem surprise. You should carry yourself in a certain pedestal and all kind or see if say omukwa na first time as okura omu no mu ye biribi kura anye you as a minister of state, a 3rd time member of parliament, which you are telling them say they should go and learn the rules, no? You should know better. That is Honorable Afenyo Markin. That thing that we cherish most melts, and it melts with time. Pram muna mutu abamano. Ese wa ye mra se bedwani obafia moni ne nkasa kokoti in fact uhunhuna o paise pompo uhunhuna o paise pompo wa o peja ho anche no atiato na mami me phone lines ni ma baransa na no chairman antwibo si akon chairman wontumi munya ntobasie mami bie phone lines munya ntobasie mami munya ntobasie mami na chairman Bernard antwibo si akon je wa hye ne campaign ase na chairman oh chairman kawo chairman antwibo si akon chairman wontumi wa jemu brofo mogu wo se titra ha is it also uchumu time wonu ye kan brofo and ye to no certificate ye di chama oni bi Prempeh College wa chairman and people is here going.
I understand the grassroots language. I'm a grassroots. It's a grassroots that wins power. So if you want to judge me, don't ask me about my certificate because I have already pointed blank to you that I don't have. It's still imperfectly. If you like, you can go and ask and take it. Me, it's not the certificate I need. What I need is the power. And the power, all the processes it takes for us to take and win election 2028. This is what you, when you vote for me as a national chairman, I'm going to do. And what I'm going to do is that immediately you vote for me as a national chairman, I'm not going to sit on my comfort zone in the office of Accra. No, this is not what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is that I have been a constituency chairman before, so I'm part of them. I understand the electoral area, I understand the police station, and I'm a regular chairman now, so I understand what the region need. What they need is that you give them the money in kind for them to go and do the job in the police station. So immediately you elect me, I will come to the regional chairman, the regional executive. They will program for me. And then I will move from constituency to constituency. Obviously, big party like this, how can you say we are not going to have problems in the various constituencies? We will have, but I will come. Yes, sister, on this year, Akwa Ojani. So I will come and sit down with you to solve the problem in the constituency. And once we solve it, the 2028 election, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia is the next president of Ghana. So the job is not in Accra. National Party, we don't vote there. So I will leave the place for the General Secretary to receive letters and reply them, and per our Constitution, Article 10+5, it's a duty. It's the duty of the national chairman to call steering, call NEC, and call National Council. Through the advice of the General Secretary, then I will ask the permission from the regional executive and the constituency chairman. Then I will proceed to Accra to follow all these processes to complete our constitution.
And that is Chairman Bernard and Chibuesiakun, like it or not. Say Chairman bro fu first in Uncle was you and I and Chibuesiaku until bro fu into the national chairman baby be oh dien. Hey, he say Chairman bro fu count. Oh no, Bernard and Chibuesiakun are being said. Is a Chairman bro fu enti se say dear one name in fact baby on all cause I know what a friends and a Savannah region Mahama Kromo not to say one year mu a casa delegates who do dim common. So I am the say oh yak yemfa agro nyina to nchen Bernard and Chibuesiakun Jack ne bro for say the eka ne tenses ne didem etike mu ane de twa hye ho ne ekɔ anim wa ben and the delegates for mu hwɛ so ntu abama no Bernard and Chibuesiakun chama wuntumi ani na me campaign dia wa sha ase dada nti no monhwa na monto aba no emfa emma no se me no kase yi Ora Freddy Blay MPP former chairman se me no kase wodem ewo Ebri police station odemo ne nyina se ese obi akọ report no se na asase ne dan yesi so papa na be budan ne nyina egu ye friend wo court papa ne ama na court di the friend warrant de to so ye mpani ye nchenemra as ye chi ne di ko gine mu a e di ko gire mu a chese court ne se ono pa de bill pa de so be ma papa yi on money bill de on ko twiri mu 3 weeks no mo san mo chimra information a everybody say lawyers no eso mo de nkrata na court akwakope pre bill e de ama wasi mewu ble na afi watumi aba san kwan pyewa na amre no so a watumi e de nani akwakokyere mu e court na nso so sa ade be chi ene de 15 no sa ade be chi de na ne aid ne so odru ho an wo so kana no kakra ne so be ma kantin ka dwane shirt so na afi ye de no ko twire e kyire ho ne ade ade e hu pa